We are delighted to welcome you all today to our annual Global Unity Dinner 2019. The institution, the monarchy, and our British values. Our lives have unfolded so differently, if this great nation had not welcomed us during the midst of war. So many lives in Sri Lanka were lost, both sides. And it's extremely sad as the consequences are still felt today.
Sadly, I do not foresee a day where conflict is not ragging in some part of the world. Unless, ladies and gentlemen, if we can change attitudes.
The message from our Honourable Theresa May, our Prime Minister. I'm delighted to send my best wishes to everyone attending the Global Unity Dinner. There can be no place in our society for the wild ideology that drives and incites hatred and fear. I welcome all effort to promote unity in our country and around the world.
Many people go to America to live the American dream, but many people like me and Selva and Sajni, my wife Renu, we come to enjoy the British dream. I think the British dream is much better than the American dream.
Selva is so much respectful to his family, his late father, his late mother. I was always touched whenever I came to this dinner to see the pictures of his father, grandmother. They're all here, which I think we should really learn from somebody like him and Darshini, how to respect our parents, obviously, human beings, so be gentle.
Well, good evening, my lords, ladies and gentlemen. It falls to me to do something quite spectacularly special. That is to say, to be the first to announce the book launch of Selva's latest book, Thinking into Character.
So, as always, when I come, means that the food is coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the grace. It's a Latin. It's very easy, very fast, very easy. It means whoever made the sky and the land, bless the food that we're going to receive. Latin is quid fecit celum et totum benedicat cibum et potum. Amen.
If you look around the room here, we have many different faces of what Britishness is. Different people, different ways of thinking, different ways that they do things. Being British, we can also be English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish, or indeed Sri Lankan, Indian, African, Polish, Italian, Pakistani, and the list goes on. But the most important thing is that we're very inclusive in Britain, and that's one of the big British values that I think is most important.
So my fantasy becomes reality, and I must be what I must be and face tomorrow. So I continue to pretend that my life will never end. And
on tragedy, let me just say, and I'm going to be your shortest speaker tonight. I'll be your shortest speaker tonight because I'm only 6'7". And when I was at school myself, I wrote down the words of the Anglo-Irish poet William Butler Yeats, who said, "We cannot begin to live till we see or conceive of life as a tragedy." And I think that this is very, very wise and very true, because the good people in life, the winners, and in my experience of life, all the worthwhile people have had bad experiences. Every single person in this room has lost a parent, we've heard about that, lost a sibling, maybe lost a child, maybe lost possessions, lost cousins, lost things dear to us. And without exception, the heroes in life are the people who move on from that and who show courage, as Sri Lanka has shown, after the appalling and tragic and awful events of these recent months.
We have learned that building a school is not enough. If you do not address the key issues that keep children in school, then it will not work. It's not sustainable. Currently, we are now providing access to our 5-pillar sustainable model, which is called Sponsor a Village. And in Kenya and in Antri, India, we are currently providing access to education, clean water, nutritious food, and income training. Thank you.
I first met Selva 3 years ago in Canada, and I knew the moment I met him that he was someone very special. His calmness, his strength, his vision is not only changing lives, it will continue to change lives, and I am so grateful to be able to call him a friend and to have been invited to be a part of this tonight with all of you, so thank you.
This young girl, when we went there, she came up to me and she grabbed my hand and she held it for at least an hour. It was the most touching thing I have ever experienced. And she taught me about forgiveness. These girls are not only learning education, not learning, knowledge. She was in a nursing program. She was not just learning nursing. They were learning leadership skills.
There are a lot of politicians are here. They should do their bit. Unite all of us rather than dividing us. Education should teach tolerance. And we should learn to live in harmony.
My grandfather was working in a bank in India. But like many immigrants, when they come to, not just to the United Kingdom, to many countries across the world, they're doing the jobs that the indigenous population or the jobs that are required to be done that nobody else wants to do. So when I look at it, and when my father looked at it, and as the generations, and when I always carry myself on what I'm going to do in my life, I look at, I sometimes think, could I have really done that? We've gone through those real sacrifices, get called those difficult names, and all the prejudices and all the difficulties that they faced.
When you were born, how many of you were able to choose your color, your name, your parents, or your religion? And so why is it that as adults you have to go fighting and killing people to defend an identity which is artificial and which you had absolutely no choice whatsoever in selecting?
The whole of Sri Lanka, the whole of the world came together for a few moments, for a few days. And it didn't matter whether you were Tamil, whether you were Sinhalese, whether you were Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, no faith at all. For that moment, actually there's just a collective solidarity for the people that have been targeted, for the families that have been targeted, because of course there were so many children involved being Easter Sunday services. The WhatsApp groups, the social media, these kind of things, actually were used for a power of good because there were severe blood shortages in some of the hospitals across Sri Lanka. And for a while, the diaspora community here, the people in Sri Lanka, were actually putting out that call, please donate blood. And isn't it wonderful, therefore, although it's such a shame that it has to be in the face of such a tragedy, it's wonderful to see how people can come together.
Thank you so much, Selva Dushani, for hosting such a wonderful night for all of us. It is my first time to one of your dinners, and hopefully not the last.
So Desmond is one of the most substantial global entities that Sri Lanka has ever produced. Today, we are ruled by politicians who have limited ethics, education, and experience. We leave our future and the future of our children in their hands. We do this while we let the most accomplished Sri Lankans, like Sir Desmond, save the world.